Welcome to the JAMODI podcast. We are all surrounded by amazing coaches and leaders. So let's get an inside look at not just what they do, but how they do what they do. After all, becoming the best versions of ourselves is JAMODI, just a matter of doing it. I love to ask questions about the balancing two-sport athletes. So, at Faith, we're a smaller school. And so we do need multiple sport athletes for our programs to survive even. But even here, there's the tension sometimes between sports. And I think us coaches don't always help with that. But at a large school like you're at, how do you balance two sport athletes in your program?
Let me just say, from the moment I got hired by Brian Basil at MacArthur, I've had a run of 4 or 5 football coaches in my head coaching career, counting Michael Odell here. And I've had an absolutely great relationship with all of them. I've been very fortunate that, if you're going to be at MacArthur, it has to be about the school being successful, because there's not enough athletes in that space for people to be greedy. And whoever's the most successful at the time is whoever keeps the athletes, right? So when I went in to those situations, I went in with an open mind of, hey, if we're going to share athletes, what does that look like? And all of those coaches have been super helpful and respectful to what I'm trying to do as a basketball coach, because I've been super open to things like, being in the weight room together and coming to summer workouts and having myself seen and building those relationships with their football guys, and not just being the basketball coach, but being, hey, that's Coach Martin. He comes to our games. He has a great relationship. He cracks jokes with us, and his guys are in here working out with us. So, last spring, we did a lot of our lifting in unison with the football program, because in the off season, you're trying to build skill, but we got guys that need to eat and lift. So I'll figure out the skill later, like get them in there. They have a strength and conditioning coach. They know more about the weight room than I know. Let's get in there. I'll coach your guys up. You coach my guys up, and let's all do this together. So sharing athletes has been great in the spots I've been in. They would invite us out at MacArthur on those Fridays, those dog days of before spring ball starts for them. They'd invite us out and they do like competitions, and it'd be a basketball group and they throw us in. And I'm not gonna lie, man, we won some of those things, and the kids got after it, and we're walking around with a chest full of air. And I'm like, guys, like leave it on the mats. We don't want to be too crazy about this, because they are much stronger than us. But I think a lot of the older regime, because they were afraid of maybe losing a kid, were walled off. And I know a lot of the younger football coaches are actually really receptive to like legitimately sharing athletes, not just, saying sharing. They're in your season when they're in your season, then I get them back.
We're going to share your athletes, but we're not going to share our athletes.
Michael Odell here has heavily encouraged his guys to, go play for Martin. I know you're going to get the discipline. I know you're going to get the structure. We'll work out the lifting schedule. He's been very encouraging to that. And I tell my guys, like, when it comes track season, go run track, because you don't want to be around me for 9 or 10 months. Like, my personality is going to wear on you because I'm demanding. So go hear it from somebody else.
No, that's a good point. And you kind of threw out a nugget that I think, so there's probably so many coaches that have had the opposite experience. But I got to wonder how much of it, not all, but how much of it was because of them. Because I think a lot of it. Because the fact that they didn't have your attitude towards, I'm going to be open, I'm going to make an effort, I'm going to go and crack jokes and be a part of it. Because I'll tell you right now, like, just full transparency, that's not something I think I would naturally do or want to do. But I can't imagine. We just got a new football coach here, and I've had it kind of on my mind to reach out and create a relationship with him that is healthy. We're supporting each other. You're right on the money. Like, we want all of our athletic teams at our school to be better because it's great for the school. But we don't always that's what I say I want, but I have to show it with my actions.
Yeah. So, I mean, we're all having this human experience, right? And I think when we go in a situation and we've automatically had bad experiences previously, we can wall ourselves off because we don't want to have to go through the ridiculousness that comes with that. So we can kind of typecast or put people in a place. And I've just kind of adopted the philosophy of, look, man, I'm going to walk into this with eyes open and I'm going to let you prove to me what kind of person you are. And if you're a person that can be trusted and you do the right thing, I'm going to rock with you. And if you're not, then I'll wall myself off. But I'm going to give everybody a chance to prove to me what they're going to be like. And, you know, it helps being at Lewisville with a Lewisville guy who was a student here, who won here, who loves Lewisville. Like, he doesn't love Lewisville football. He loves Lewisville High.
Yeah.
And that has been such a different experience than other people. I mean, you know, we're all friends. We talk and people have bad experiences, but I think you're right. Negative energy is contagious. And if you walk in apprehensive and you don't really want that, if you have an ulterior motive, it's going to trigger theirs. So I just try to walk into it, best foot forward, give them a chance to prove me wrong. And if they do, which it hasn't happened, I've been fortunate, but if they do, then we'll pivot and we'll do it a different way. But I've bbeen fortunate.
You know, I was just kind of giggling, thinking of something I heard. I'm going to change the wording a little bit around, but I think the phrase or quote is, you might meet a jerk in the morning. You might run into a jerk in the morning, and that happens. But if you're running into jerks all day long, if everybody you run into is a jerk, you're the jerk.
Yeah.
Like, you're the problem. Like, I thought about that.
Yeah,
like,
everybody can't be wrong.
If every coach that you work with, if everybody is everybody is out to get you, if everybody, I don't know, maybe there's just something. So, but great nuggets there, man. I appreciate you sharing that.
Yeah, no doubt, man. No doubt. Like I said, what I really have tried to do over the last couple of years is shine the light on people that have been good to me and that have treated me well and that have done good things around me. Last year, IHS came in and they gave us the title belt for Defensive Performance of the Week. And I was like, this is lovely and all, but this is not for me. This is for my assistant. And I was like he needs to be mentioned because I think he's elite at what he does. And so I try to give outward praise in spaces like this, because I don't give a ton of praise like to the exact person. And I need to work on that and I need to do that better. But I think there's a vulnerability in telling somebody, hey man, you've done a good job, or telling a player, hey man, I love you and I hope everything's good. There's a vulnerability there that is sometimes hard for us to embrace. So anytime I'm in a space like this, I love to give those guys shout outs that have been impactful and influential on me because they deserve it.
Thank you for checking out today's episode. Please take a moment to subscribe to this podcast, share it with your fellow coaches, and find us on social media for what's coming up next on the JAMODI podcast. It's just a matter of doing it.